The biggest blocker that you have for being in your feminine energy is making choices and decisions out of fear. Now, let me explain what I mean. And I'm going to use an analogy to describe this. I lived in Belgium way back in the early 2000s. They had the atomium. Everybody knows Belgium for the atomium. And on some days, they'd allow you to zip line down on the atomium. So on this particular day, I had family visit me from overseas, and we decided we're going to go up. I'm going to go on the zip line. I remember the whole time walking up, I thought, geez, one step after another step, this is an awfully long way to go up. But anyway, I just kept on thinking of how exciting it would be and what a wonderful adventure it would be for me to go down the zip line on the atomium. And eventually when I got to the top, and as I stuck my head out and I looked at the height, I started freezing up and I started feeling this immense fear. And at that stage, my sister-in-law was just above me and she had frozen with fear. She was incapable of moving. And I was trying to encourage and tell her, just imagine what it'll be like once you've experienced this. And she started trembling. I've never seen somebody tremble the way she trembled. And the more I was listening to her, the more fearful I became. And I thought, there's no ways I'm going to chicken out of this. So I decided to get up on that zip line, got my harness on, got on and held on for life. As they pushed me, I turned around and I said to him, wait, I need to reconsider this. And he said, no, you're going to talk yourself out of it. And he pushed me at that stage. And initially it was like going off a slide. And suddenly I realized the slide was coming to an end and I was going to free fall after that. And the anxiety in those few split seconds just started rising. But as we finally got past that point, I realized the harness was holding me secure. I had the most exhilarating feeling I'd ever had. I had the view, it was absolutely phenomenal, looking over Belgium, looking at all different locations and sights, and the silence up there, and observing people down on the ground that were tiny. I didn't want the feeling to end. It felt like I was flying, like I was absolutely free. And it was that point when I realized, don't let fear inhibit you. And it stuck by me forever. I've actually let a lot of opportunities pass me by because of my fear. Let me give some examples. I'm sure many of you are sitting there apprehensive of what tomorrow brings, apprehensive of the future, thinking of everything that could possibly go wrong, or even fearful if you go into a relationship and you think, how's this going to work? Maybe this is going to happen. Maybe that's going to happen. What happens if he turns out to be this monster? What happens if he turns out to be the biggest narcissist I've ever been with? What if I'll end up being so unhappy in this relationship and I'm stuck and I can't get out of this relationship? We start making decisions based out of that fear. And we start making decisions thinking, all right, rather let me just avoid this. And you'll end up missing opportunities of a lifetime because you're so fearful of what could go wrong. Now I want to show you what to do not to live out of that fear, how you can transcend that. So stop making decisions out of what if, rather make decisions out of what if not. Opposite of love is actually fear. And fear is what prevents you from having the life that you truly want, that you desire. You know, they say money makes the world go round, but it's actually not. It's fear. So if we can get away from fear and start doing things out of love. Now, what I mean by out of love, I mean it's your passion. What ignites passion within you? The problem is it's so clouded by all these what if could go wrong scenarios that I just spoke about earlier. What if you start fulfilling your passion? What if it does go right and it does work out and you've had the adventure of a lifetime? You've had that exhilarating feeling of sliding down the atomium and the freedom that you experience. What if things just work out the way you never expected or better than you ever imagined? So how do you make those decisions out of love? Well, first you need to connect with yourself. And you need to start connecting with that feminine energy. If you're true to yourself, you will automatically operate out of the feminine energy side. And you will attract the masculine energy. Because of yin and yang, you've always got the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And the two come together. And that's when you get the sum of the total is greater than the individual parts. The deep connection you start having when you start operating out of a true passion and out of love and not of how you should be, how you ought to be. So connecting with your inner self is the most fundamental part of fulfilling your life and having the life you so wish and you so desire. Whether it be a wonderful job that you're looking for, whether it be a relationship, whether it be an experience or an adventure, doing things out of love is the only way you can live your life. So being in your feminine energy is in no ways inferior to being in your masculine energy. It's being authentic to who you are. And when the two parts come together, that's when you get the true magic. That's where you start seeing life happens. So it's almost going in with a growth mindset, going in and saying, I'm going to grow. I'm going to move away from things the way I've always done it. And the way you've always done it is be so conscious and so risk averse and thinking of absolutely anything that could possibly go wrong and trying to make sure you prevent or you mitigate any risk instead of just enjoying the moment. enjoying the now. Obviously, I'm not going to say go be reckless and do whatever you want and throw all caution to the wind. We're not going to live our life like that. We have enough experience, we have enough wisdom to know what is appropriate, what's inappropriate. But what I'm talking about is something different. What I'm talking is don't throw caution to the wind. Rather listen to that message that comes from within, from that energy within you, the true energy of who you are. Something that ignites some spark of curiosity, of passion, of excitement, because you want to live a life that's exhilarating. All right, you're not going to be exhilarating all the time. You're not going to be jumping off cliffs. You don't want to be a thrill seeker every single part of your life. What I'm saying to you, though, is you want to be in touch with the authentic you, which is the feminine energy. And once again, there is no superior energy. The power comes in being authentic to the energy that is within you. That's the most powerful position that you can find yourself in. That's when life starts becoming rewarding. It starts giving you the stuff you desire. Now we want to get to the action so that you can live in your true feminine energy. First thing is you need to have the courage to make the choices. So how do you get the courage to make those decisions? Let me tell you why you should. If you make the decisions out of sheer passion, you're going to have and choose the life that you prefer. If you don't make the decision out of passion, you're going to choose it out of fear and you're going to have the life that you don't prefer. Then you're going to live with the regrets. That's when you're going to think, if only I should have, and the opportunity passes you by because you made the choice not to make a courageous decision. So I'm saying take back your power now. Your true feminine energy is making the courageous decision, making choices out of love as opposed to out of fear. The next point is authenticity. Many a times we inhibit it from being authentic self. Once again, it's out of fear. We start becoming fearful of what somebody may think. We fear rejection. What if they don't like who I am? Well, what if they don't? So what? Not everyone's going to be your cup of tea. And likewise, you don't like everyone. It's going to guarantee you bringing the right person into your life if you're authentic to yourself. So coming into a relationship, this is where authenticity is so, so important. If you don't go and be authentic to yourself, you're only going to attract people that are looking and want you to be somebody that you're actually not. And when the mask finally comes off, the relationship is guaranteed to fail. This brings me to the point about authenticity in relationships. Being authentic in relationships is going to attract the people that you want to have in your life. One lesson that I learned that was very hard for me to learn over the years was I wanted to be all things to all people. I want everybody to like me, until I realized I was compromising and I was starting to become resentful in many relationships and settings, until I realized this is not who I am. And once that mask came off and I started being true to myself, that's when I started attracting people that really loved and cherished me. And I didn't need to be anyone that they wanted me to be. All I had to be was my authentic self. Now, this is what I mean by being in your feminine energy. It is who you are designed to be. And once you're in that position, you will start creating this energy that starts expanding out to all areas of your life. And people become absolutely attracted to you. You become like a magnet to individuals once you lose and you ditch the fear. Let me put this into one sentence. You need to have the courage to be authentic self, which is always love. Remove fear and give you the life you so desire. And that's what's going to get you into your feminine energy. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have, don't forget to give it a like. If you don't want to miss any more of these videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I really hope to see you in the next one.